Hi everyone, and welcome again to another webinar, another SysAid webinar. Today we're going to discuss a subject called dynamic forms. This is something that we actually started giving you kind of a sneak preview about in our previous webinar about the 5 years resolutions, and Oleg himself was actually here to present it. How are you?
I'm fine, Michael. How are you?
Great. It's nice to have you here again. This feature is basically something that a lot of clients have been waiting for. It's an amazing enhancement to how users actually open incidents and requests. Let's show our users a real life scenario. But before we do that, I just want to present the agenda. Okay. So. In today's webinar, we'll see an overview of the new request management in SysAid 9, how it actually works, and we'll show you how to use the new dynamic forms with the end user portal and how to actually create them. Basically from here we can actually go to our presentation. So let's go into SysAid. Okay, Oleg, it's all yours.
Thank you, Michael. So, as you mentioned before, the dynamic forms is actually really a big time saver, not only for the end users but also for the admins.
Yeah.
And I will start with a brief example. So let's say. Normally, the end users, yes, they submit incidents and submit two types of tickets, incidents and requests.
Mm-hmm.
So while the difference between them is that these incidents address issues which end users encounter in regard to something which used to work and stopped working, while the requests address any kind of new request from the end user side, like to grant some permission to access some shared folder or to install maybe some application.
So that's something that would require a process and involve other departments. So this is basically something that has more stages in the process. That's when we will choose a request.
You are perfectly right, Michael. Requests sometimes involve a approval process, maybe a budget approval,
yes,
supervisor approval, or whatever, which means that it's not like a flat ticket like incident. It's sometimes something more complicated. So
okay.
Let's start with a brief example. Let's say that the end user wants to submit a request. So now, first of all, you can see that we added an option to specify a template,
yes,
to be used to submit the request, where this list, of course, this comes out of the box, but this list is customizable, and admins our customers can build as many requests templates as they need according to their organization needs.
mm-hmm.
So here you can see few examples, like end users can select a template to access shared folder, or to grant a permission to use some printer, simple tasks like unlock my account or reset my password. And here you can see some general software installation request, and so on. So let's say that the end user wants to access some shared folder.
Okay.
So when he selects this, the template, so there are some values which are pre-filled in the template to specify. For example, the category is selected automatically. There is some title which was added. and here admin, the end user can specify more details in the description, submit the ticket. Now let's say that the end user wants to install the software. So he comes in and selects the last option here in this drop down, general software installation request, and you can see that the form was dynamically switched.
Nice.
And other fields were added, and here the end user will find some brief instructions in the description to fill the necessary details to install the software, and that makes all the process much more efficient because the fields were added automatically, and the instructions are which the end user need to follow to submit his request were specified also inside the template. So here we can see that the end user first is supposed to specify the software that he wants to install actually from using the categories.
Yes.
While the first level was selected automatically because it's a basic software. Now the end user, let's say he wants to install the Evernote application. Okay. So then in the second in the second task he required to specify the version. Okay, so let's say it's 2. Then he needs to specify maybe the date when it will be convenient for him for the maintenance, the location maybe, and the main asset. Okay.
Yes.
So then just a second. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Got it. Okay, so then the end user can submit the ticket, and that's it. Let's say that the software, just to explain that in the background, the record which was submitted generated in some dedicated process of approval. So let's say, but the software it was like not maybe some application which involves budget. Let's say it's something simple like Flash or maybe Adobe Reader or maybe Java or whatever. So in that case, the process is like simpler. So now. And the workflow is different because there is no budget, no approval required because it's something simple. So you can see that also the form, all the form.
Yeah, there's less fields. There's
that's the core actually of the dynamic forms because now the form which was loaded automatically, it reflects the actual need, the actual request type which was selected.
Yes.
And you could see that the end user don't know this information. It's like it's another part of the all the functionality which makes it much more powerful because you actually the categories the template which is loaded is categories driven.
Yes.
Like again, I select let's say I select an Office application. The form. Just a moment, please. The form, let's say in Evernote, like budget is required, so all the process in the background, end user doesn't know that, but the system was configured to load the correct template according to the
by the categories that the end user actually selected.
Exactly. Now, so each time, if that was defined that way, each time a different category is specified. Let's say that the user wants to report now that he has some printer issue. Okay, and let's say his toner is off. So you can see that the end user, which maybe doesn't know what is the required template, he just specified the categories. And admin could in advance associate the correct template with the relevant category, and the correct template is loaded automatically according to the category specified.
By the way, the users are used to seeing quick lists there, right? So that replaces the quick lists.
Actually, yes. We used quick list term in regard to incidents. Now we replaced the quick list with a template. We just want to be to talk the same language. You know, it's like we use the same term. It's always template. Also, when we talk about incidents, we use templates. Well, basically, it does exactly the same as quickly as before
Right.
in regard to incident. When we talk about requests, so as I mentioned, requests involve some workflow, some process in the background.
Mhm.
So we use actually the same term template while the record submitted is a request.
Yes. Well, great. Well, this is actually amazing because and this is something that we say all the time during our webinars, our courses. If you configure SysAid right and you do a little bit of research, you can actually get the exact information that you need from your users. And the nicest thing about this is that your user don't need to put the effort in thinking, wait a minute, I need this, I need that. SysAid will do it for them. If do some research and do some thinking process, maybe with your users, and cover all the use cases possible, then it's easier to submit a service request, and you're getting the exact information you need to perform the task. And this is great. We're not going to go into ITIL process because this is a big subject, and we teach it. It takes a while. But let's show our users, without getting into too much detail, how we create such a dynamic form.
Okay.
Okay. So moving back to our screen here.
Okay. So let's pick some example. Let's say that the end user would like to upgrade his hardware, his computer hardware. He
Yes.
wants to add some, or maybe let's take even simpler example. Let's say that the end user wants to submit a request to increase the size of his mailbox.
Size of the middle.
Okay. So first of all, it's a request. It's not an incident.
Yes.
So we need to build let's say in this scenario, there is a manager approval required. Okay,
Yes,
which means that the end user submits a request. He's asking the IT team to increase his mailbox size, and his manager is supposed to approve it.
Yes.
Okay, very simple. So let's start with SysAid admin portal. We need, first of all, first thing we need to do is to create a subtype.
Yes.
For this purpose of type request. Okay, let's say mailbox increase. That will be the name of the subtype. Okay, and now we will customize it a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, we will just make the form for the admin dedicated for this purpose.
Right.
Okay, so let's say what will be what the information admin actually needs in regard to that. Attachments are irrelevant here. As main asset also is irrelevant, just to make the form simple.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Status description are okay. Okay, that's fine. Maybe the department also. Let's keep it this way. Okay, now we will build. We will just customize the request. Just a second before that, I want to add to the workflow. Just a moment, please.
Mm-hmm.
I want to add the relevant action item here for the approval. Okay, it will take a moment. Okay, we have it already. Actually, we have it already. I'll just make sure it's fine here.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see it's in the request template also.
So first stage, just to make it clear to our viewers, first step is to create a subtype.
Right. Then the second step is to customize the template.
Which will be automatically created as we create the subtype.
Right.
We'll
That's
have
correct.
an
That's
automatically created
Okay,
template.
the class is fine. Let's say the categories in regard to that we'll say it's servers maybe. Exchange server. Okay, and let's say other. Okay, let's give it some brief description. Please increase my mailbox size. Okay.
Yeah.
Here I would give some instructions to the end user, asking him to specify here the how much okay.
Yeah.
That will be fine. Now the process manager I would like to define, let's say James. Now the urgency of such a request will be normal. Priority, let's say impact low. Priority low is okay. Let's say apply. Then we want to add the approval stage.
Yes.
Now, okay, so here we go and add the approval action item.
Yes.
Okay, let's approve. Approval action, basic approval is signed, is fine. And then we have, I would like to change the top section to instructions.
Yeah, so while you're doing that, to tell our viewers, the first template that we select will apply on both sections, and then we're going ahead and changing the top section, and then we can change the bottom section
Exactly.
as well.
Now, in the template, I assign the relevant person in the company who's supposed to approve this
Yes.
kind of request. Okay, let's say in this case it will be Andrew. Okay, here we have also.
You just answered one of the other questions while we're doing that, and that's great. If we can actually assign users to the process, and the answer is we can. We can even embed it in the template if we already know who's assigned to the role.
Exactly, you are right, Michael. And also, the assigned admin in this case, it does not supposed to be especially admin. It can be even an end user.
It could be an end user in SysAid. It doesn't have to be an admin.
As the regular ITL templates. Okay, so we have the request. Now, if we'll go to access the end user portal site, one more thing. I want to customize the way the end user will see this request.
Right.
And as you know, there are like two views for each template or a subtype in SysAid. There is the admin view, and there is the end user view. And as you can imagine, it's not always the same. It's like the end user is not supposed to see all the variety of fields the admin sees. He needs to see a very clear form with the minimum required fields.
The minimum set of fields.
Yeah, so let's customize the subtype we created for this purpose for the end user. And let's see, so the end user will see the categories are okay. The title is okay, description, maybe, you know what, let's add a special field to specify the size of the how much megabytes he wants to add. Okay, that would be nice. Then it will be, let's say we will use for this purpose the custom int 1. Okay. We will edit the main asset is irrelevant here, so I remove this field. Attachments are irrelevant, I remove it. The urgency will keep it. The description is fine, and here we have the custom int 1, which will be used to specify how much megabytes the end user wants. Okay.
And we'll need to add this same field in our subtype, right? So we can get the data.
I can edit. Yes, I can edit also to the form to the view of the admin also. Okay, it will just I can do it in a second, and I will show it to you. Okay, subtype. Here we have the mailbox increase. Okay, let's add the same field for the admin so we can see.
Simple. Let's add the integer. Awesome.
Okay, here we have it. Now I will also, I will also update the template description just for the end user to know that he's supposed to add this information.
Yeah, and of course, SR custom int is just a name that the system gives. You guys can actually change that if you edit your translation files. I'm assuming it's a common practice that you guys know. If you don't, then of course you can contact your account managers here in SysAid.
Yes, it's very easy. So here you see, please increase my mailbox size. We added the form, and you see
Wow.
now I press on it, and the form was
Simple.
switched. This category is specified as defined, and the fields are different from the basic form. So we could see just a few minutes, and we have a dynamic form.
Now that is so powerful. Just a minute, I will just. That is really powerful.
Yes, it's amazing. It's really useful. It's very handy.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you can actually do it from both ways. Either select a template or select a category. So it's kind of gives you a full solution from each direction, either for the admin or the user. Show us the trick with the categories. How do we configure that?
Let me show you.
We can move to this back to the screen.
Second person here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let me show you. Let's say that we want to associate a specific category to load this template that we created to increase the mailbox size automatically. Okay, so what we do is very simple. We go to the services settings, to the categories tab. Okay, and here we can see all the categories and the associated template if there is something defined. Okay, so we could see that in the previous examples with the software, we software request to install a new software or something. So here we see that there are specified two types of the forms that I did in advance.
Yes.
For this demonstration, which are loaded according to the software specified using the second level in the categories.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's say we want to create a new request, a new category set to reflect the request of to increase the mailbox size. Okay, so let me see if we have something, some category in this in regard to mailbox size. User workstation. Let me see something intuitive for the end users, maybe. I think the workstation, maybe it will be somehow relevant in end user perspective as maybe a workstation. Okay, let's say in this example it will be like under workstation. We will add a new category. Okay, let's say user workstation. We will create new subcategory, mailbox, and I will in the front level I will just write increase size. Okay, that will be the category. Now, in regard to this, it's irrelevant to the incident. It's relevant only to the request. It cannot be a problem, cannot be a change. It's fine, fair enough. Okay, so now I want to associate the template that we created previously.
Yes.
To this category. Let me show you how I do it. It's just a one click. Let me find it. So it will be the mailbox increase.
Yes.
Okay.
So first check is to actually reveal it to the end user portal.
Right. Let me see it. So it's first of all, it's visible on the end user portal.
Yeah.
Then it's associated with the request. Here in this drop down, which is next to this to the checkbox, I just pick the relevant
right
template we created previously for this purpose. Okay.
Great.
Then I just save it, and that's it. Let me show you how does it work. That's all.
Now they're
That's
basically
all.
merged.
Nothing more. Nothing more. Let me show it to you. Let's say again, I'm the end user. Then comes to the end user portal. I press on the submit a request. Okay. Let's say I don't find this request, which is actually I can populate it here. I can hide it from here.
Yes.
I will show it to you just in a moment. But normally, let's say I'm the end user, I don't know the correct category and just want to use, I don't know the correct template, I just want to use the category, so I just say, okay, it's a user workstation, let me see if I find it, okay, it's talking about my mailbox,
and increase
and
time.
that's it. The form was loaded. That's
And
it.
we're getting
Now, if I
exact
switch,
information.
let's say, to another category, let's say again to the basic software,
Yes.
you know, as I showed you before, so the form is switched according to the categories
Yes.
specified. Okay, now just maybe because I just mentioned it, I want you to show you something small. It's actually we inherited from the quick lists the ability actually to show to make it visible or to hide it from the end user portal, so we can see that, let's say in specifically this template which is just created, I don't want it to be included in the drop down, okay? But I just remain it, I just leave it to be associated with the category, which means if I'm an end user, okay, so I will not find this specific template in the list. But again, if I just go and specify the categories,
we still do
the form will be loaded.
Yes.
You see? Yeah.
Great. This is just great. Well, this keeps getting better and better actually. Okay, let's. I just want to get a little bit into the end user's view.
Yes.
Now, although this is very simple, at times a user maybe doesn't exactly understand if he needs to submit an incident or submit a request. What if he submits an incident? We saw that he has the right templates, he can do the same job, but we need a request.
That's right.
So how can we deal with that?
Okay, so normally in SysAid the process, normally you can create a linked item of any type to any type in SysAid, which means let's actually simulate it just in a second. Let's say the end user submits an incident. Instead of request, he specifies actually, I don't know, something general, okay? Mm-hmm. Let's say he says user workstation, he didn't find the category, he said PC, and he says
cannot access network drive. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that would something that would require some kind of approval.
Cannot access network drive,
and
what he actually intend to ask is a permission to access a drive.
Yes.
Okay, like he says, okay, cannot access drive K. Okay, and he submits the request. We see this ticket number 60.
Yes.
Now the admin comes to the ticket, and he said, "Just a second, this is not the correct ticket. This is not the correct SR type. This is not the correct service record type. It was supposed to be a request, and it was submitted as an incident. So what the admin can do now is very easy. He can create a new linked item.
Yes.
And he can say, okay, it's a request. Let's say it's a basic request process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He can create he creates the request actually. He press just okay. All he needs to do now is just to fill all the relevant fields if they are required and submit it. Now we have also in our backlog a request which we received from our customers asking for an option actually to convert an incident to request and vice versa. We have it in our backlog in pending development. It's a pending development feature, and we have very high priority, and we plan to do it to implement it in near future.
Just to close this, now if he goes to related items, right, he can actually see the service request that started all this. So that's basically the reference to
Correct.
this.
That's the reference.
this
And
request.
the previous incident can be closed, and
Yes.
there are also, there are even some automatic rules which we can trigger incidents to be
Yes.
closed automatically if the request was closed.
Exactly.
We will not go into it at the
Yes,
moment.
but that can actually be done. Again, this is something that you can ask your account manager. They'll be happy to assist you with that.
Let me show you something more, Michael, while we're talking about maybe some templates which were used and which the end user didn't pick the correct template or
Right.
the correct workflow from the end user portal. I want just to show you another example. Let's say the end user wants let's say software installation, as we demonstrated at the beginning, but he doesn't pick the correct categories which would load the correct template.
Yes.
But he just, let's say, submit a request with something general. Okay, let's say administration. He didn't find the correct template. He didn't specify the correct categories,
Yeah,
and still
can happen.
submit a request. Let's say, please install, let's say Java. Okay, and that's it. And now the admin loads this ticket number 62. Okay. And he said, just a second, this is the right service record type. This is a request, it's correct. But the template which used is incorrect.
Yes.
And he wants now to switch the template. So within all the capabilities we just presented, we did implement a special one. It's the ability to change the template.
Right.
To change the template, he can just now specify, okay, it's a basic software installation request. Says okay, system has to confirm, and now the template was switched for this particular request.
So with
It
request,
it
we
could
have no
even-
problem doing
yes.
it and basically switching.
Right. And
templates.
if it would be some software which requires a workflow, okay, so it's not a basic, like we could say general software request, and you
Yes.
just pay attention in this area, you will see the action item, relevant action item is added.
Wow. That's
And
great.
all the workflow is specified correctly.
That's great.
Yes.
That's an amazing time saver, really. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So, well, this is great. I think we've covered all the aspects of this feature. Now the question is, when can we use it? So.
Okay, so normally in our cloud customers already benefited. They can use it. It's a 907.2 release version, which is already production in our cloud
Yes.
environment. And now our in-house customers will have it in about Q3 of this year.
Right.
So later in this year, they will receive it.
Okay. Wow. That's great. Well, that's good news. What can I say? Thank you, Oleg, for being with us
My pleasure.
again. It's always a pleasure to be here. And to you, I want to say thank you again for being with us. Please send us your feedback, and if you have any ideas, anything that you would want us to do a webinar about, we would be delighted to hear about it and to get your impressions. So thank you very much, and we'll see you on our next webinar.